Look around you. Polite faces, calm expressions, civilized manners. You believe this is who you are. But I'll tell you the truth. It is nothing more than a mask. Beneath it lives something far older, far more dangerous, and far less civilized. Inside every one of you is the id, a creature that hungers, that lusts, that hates. It doesn't care about laws, it doesn't care about morality, it doesn't care about love. It wants what it wants: power, pleasure, destruction. And you spend your entire life pretending it isn't there. You think you make choices? No. What you call choices are excuses you invent after your unconscious has already decided for you. That flare of anger when your pride is wounded, that fantasy you keep hidden, the quiet satisfaction when someone you envy stumbles. That's not accident. That's your id slipping through the cracks. So what do? We invent the superego, that voice in your head that scolds you, that fills you with guilt, that chains you to morality. But don't think it's a savior. No, the superego is a tyrant. It doesn't guide you with kindness. It beats you down with shame. It tells you you're wicked, unworthy, sinful. You repress your darkness, but repression is not destruction. It only drives the beast deeper, and when it bursts out, it does so violently. Think of your dreams. They betray you. They show the truth you hide in daylight, the forbidden desire, the unspoken hatred, the urges you deny. Dreams are the whispers of your unconscious. No man escapes them. You can bury your impulses, you can pray against them, you can deny them, but they will always rise. And this is the cruel joke. Civilization itself is built on this repression. We bury our instincts, and in return we build cities, laws, religion, art. But this progress is not peace. It is a volcano capped with fragile stone. Every war, every betrayal, every eruption of violence. It is simply the id breaking free, reminding you that it was never gone. So remember this: civilization is not your salvation. It is your prison, and inside that prison the beast waits, patient, hungry, watching for the moment you are weakest, and then you will see who you really are. You believe life is about happiness, about pleasure, about chasing love and comfort. That is the story you tell yourself so you can sleep at night. But beneath that story lies something darker. There is another force in you, one even more disturbing than the id's hunger. I call it the death drive. Do not be fooled by the name. It is not simple. It is the pull toward destruction, toward chaos, toward silence. A force that drags you back toward the inanimate, toward nothingness. And every one of you feels it. Why do you think men go to war when there is nothing left to win? Why do you think lovers destroy each other, even when they swear devotion? Why does man take pleasure in watching another suffer? It is not survival, it is not reason, it is the death drive, rising like smoke from the cracks in your soul. You try to tame it. You channel it into work, into ambition, into art. You pretend it makes you civilized. But do not lie to yourselves. It is still destruction. The man who spends his life building an empire is no different from the soldier who burns one to the ground. Both are servants of the same drive, the urge to annihilate. And do you know why civilization itself survives? Because it feeds on repression. It demands you bury your instincts, your lust, your rage, your envy. It demands sacrifice. You think you are noble for controlling yourself, but what you are really doing is storing dynamite in your unconscious. One spark, one insult, one humiliation, and it explodes. Entire nations have burned this way. Look at history. Empires collapse not from enemies outside, but from the rot within. A society that represses too tightly becomes brittle. Then, when the unconscious finally erupts, it does so with such violence that everything is shattered. And still, you call yourselves civilized. Civilization does not protect you from your darkness. It sharpens it. It teaches you how to disguise cruelty as justice, how to call vengeance honor, how to hide the death drive under flags and prayers. You tell yourselves you are moral, but morality is just the mask your superego wears while the id and the death drive pull the strings from beneath. And here is the cruelest truth of all. You need this darkness. Without it, there is no progress. Without repression, there is no art. Without conflict, no invention. Without violence, no change. The very things you praise, your cities, your laws, your triumphs, they are born from instincts you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot separate creation from destruction. They are two sides of the same coin. So what does this mean for you? It means you live a lie. You pretend to be rational, moral, enlightened. But when you strip away the layers, when the mask is gone, you are not noble creatures. You are fragile beings caught in a battle between desire and death, between the need to live and the urge to return to nothing. And the more you repress, the more dangerous you become. The kind man becomes the cruelest when pushed too far. The righteous society becomes the most violent when its order cracks. The faithful believer commits the darkest sin in the name of salvation. Do not comfort yourselves with illusions. You are all capable of horrors you cannot even imagine. This is the secret you do not want to hear. The death drive is patient. It does not scream like the id, it waits. It seeps into your choices, your relationships, your societies. And when it finally takes hold, you will not even know it. You will think you are serving love or justice or duty, when in truth you are serving your own destruction. So I leave you with this warning. Do not look away from your unconscious. Do not pretend you are safe from it. Because whether you face it or not, it governs you. And the moment you grow weak, the moment your repression falters, the darkness you deny will rise. And it will consume not just you, but everything you have built. Freud steps back from the podium, his eyes cold, his voice echoing in the silence. The hall is frozen, every listener confronted with the unbearable thought. Perhaps their darkest enemy was never out there, but always within. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.